slow, golden glow. Feel the rhythm start to flow. Good vibes only, let it show. Super Benny, yeah, we know. Easy skanking, swaying slow. Palm trees whisper, let it go. Island breeze, a gentle blow. Good vibes magic, watch it grow. Good vibes flowing all around. Positive vibrations in the sound. No place for worries can't be found. Good vibes only, solid ground. Barefoot dancing on the sand, hand in hand across the land. Sharing smiles, understand. Good vibes journey, so grand. Good vibes flowing all around. Positive vibrations in the sound. No place for worries can't be found. Good vibes only, solid ground. Super Benny sets the tone. Reggae rhythm we call home. Feel the music in your bone. Good vibes, future seeds we've sown. Good vibes flowing all around. Positive vibrations in the sound. No place for worries can't be found. Good vibes only, solid ground. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Spread the good vibes day and night. Sunsets low, golden glow. Feel the rhythm start to flow. Good vibes only, let it show. Super Benny, yeah we know. Easy skanking.
Alrighty, Super Benny here. It's Video Games Pickups 31, and this episode we took a little day out on an adventure to Taunton. Taunton is a bit of a strange place. It's on the outskirts of Bristol. Bit of a commuter town, if I'm being honest. Bit bizarre. There's hundreds of random shops, from Turkish barbers to vape shops to pizza shops. Not really adding much kind of value. Tanning salons, hairdressers. Yeah, bit weird, to be honest. There is a video game shop over there that I've been to previously, MT Games, and I've been to the one MT Games, I think it's called, over in Weston-super-Mare, which is another sort of commuter town outside Bristol, which is very good for retro. So I had a little bit of hope. As I say, you know, it's a bit scary, sort of Taunton. Not in a bad sense, but it's just in a kind of general sense. You know, sometimes I do go to some of these video game hunts, see some of these places, and I just kind of want to speak on, I don't want to get super like political or whatever in this video, but I'm just saying, you know, a lot of these places can be a bit weird and scary, you know, like on you know, the reality of this is why people play a lot of video games, you know. This is because outside a lot of kids don't want to go on these little trips and stuff, because you got, you know, you know, spice heads and scumbags on the street. You know, there's not that much being offered on the street, so you've got, as I say, you know, crappy. Where's the real jobs? You know, like accountants or architecture, anything. There's not really much going on, so it's kind of like, oh, what do I want? A Turkish barber or my vape? Or I don't vape, so what is going on? Worth the CEXs as well. A lot of bad choices on that. I call it was like Bad Choice Avenue. There's McDonald's, KFC with your processed junk, and the CEX was next door to Weatherspoon. So already I was a bit, what is going on in this town? So it was a bit the state of things over there play was not very sort of inspiring and not very I don't know, really adding to any sort of value really. And some of the towns are a bit depressing, a bit boring, and is this the future? I don't know. So yeah, video games are a great escape, but you know, I think a lot of people need to, you know, demand better from what we're all sort of, what we all want from life really. Yeah, so I'll get into what we did and what we went over there. We did have a good day out. It was a good day out. So initially I was gonna have a little look around CEX and MT Games and that kind of stuff. The first stop we went to MT Games. Now we had a little pop around some charity shops first. MT Games. What can I say about MT Games? As I said before, I've been to the one in Weston-super-Mare and it's fantastic for retro. They did have a good selection of retro in there. If you do peep on the video, there was a DuckTales, which was a sealed PS3, which is, even DuckTales, just a regular copy, goes for about 45-50 quid. It was sealed, 60. Maybe just check the wrapping or the shrink wrap if you go and pick that up yourself. That was probably sort of one of the rarer cool items in there. There was a bit of retro as well. I think I saw like Wing Commander, a box copy on the Super Nintendo. So there was a few little things. I didn't stay too long. It was very chocker, very busy because it's half term. So yeah, very alright for retro. A nice good section. There's loads of like toys and that kind of cool stuff. And I don't want to, you know, poop on the parade a little bit, but some of the newer games was £70. So Ratchet and Clank, which is a game I really like, I'm gonna pick up for a 10 quid vintage or second hand somewhere. It's been out for about 3-4 years. That was £70 in there. As I say, everyone's feeling the pinch, everyone's looking for a bargain, everyone's looking for something valuable these days. £70 for Ratchet and Clank that have been out 3-4 years. Wow, honestly, wow. Not even the competitors. So if you look quickly or do a little Google search online, $59.99 most places. You know, for Silent Hill F is brand new. In there was £70. Even, you know, it's just even £5 more than what you'd normally pay retail. So you do have to really know your prices and check your prices. The prices in a lot of these shops can be up and down, and they're independent places and they can charge whatever they want. So yeah, you know, I always advise on my channel to, you know, do your research and check these prices. But yeah, Ratchet and Clank, which a game that would have been, I know it was new and sealed, but a game you can find even brand new, £15, £20 sealed, even online, even from big retailers, you know, Amazon or wherever you find your games, they're very, very cheap. So I don't know what was going on there. As I say, the retro was pretty good, and I've been to Weston-super-Mare, and I think MT Games over there in Weston-super-Mare is great. The CEX is a bit weird, but you know, it's just the very inequality. I find CEX, the quality in most places kind of reflects what the town is. So if you've got a bit of a town that doesn't really, you know, take care of itself and have much pride, most of the video games are in that sort of similar condition. There is a little saving grace in sort of Taunton where it's a bit nice, sort of little green bits and other things going on where you can do stuff or other activities around. So yeah, we went into CEX as well after a spot of lunch. I mean, the lunch was okay. So then we crossed the road into CEX in Taunton, and as I say, it's next door to a Wetherspoon, so you can picture it yourself already. We went in there. The display outside was all kind of Halloween, so they've dressed it up with dolls, whatever. Having a look around the shop now, we've got Mouldy Games, which is just I don't like to see that straight off the bat. That was just a couple I found. On the floor, there was everything had manual in as well, so they didn't bother to take anything out. So going for it, all the prices were all different as well. There wasn't that many people in there. There was, there's another random scumbag in there as well that had come off the street as well. As I say, if you're going around with your family and you're doing whatever, you kind of like, it's just getting fed up of, I don't want the hassle of going into CEX always, and it's a lot of time and energy. I know like a lot of people want to trade in and do that kind of stuff. But some of the quality of the items was terrible, absolutely battered, mouldy, scratched, replacement covers, people stealing them. They didn't even bother taking the manuals off. The prices hadn't even been updated, so the people in there didn't care about the job either, so the prices were all off whack. And then eventually I did take the game and I thought, I'll just get some cheap stuff, because like the retro wasn't that great in there either. So I just thought, I'll pick up a couple of essential titles that I've not top tier on my kind of list, but even the basic titles, they had about 7 copies of one title. I asked, is this the best copy? They're all completely scratched. Now I'll show you some of the pictures of how bad the scratches are, and I said, I don't want these. I just want a refund and want to get rid. Absolutely pathetic. And just, I said, imagine if you're buying £100 game. Apparently that it's normal, scratch to hell, and they're only surface marks. It looked like someone scratched them on the floor, absolutely battered. So yeah, really, really bad. As I say, it's 7 or 8 copies, and that's some of the better discs they had. So, it's just so, and we had 3 people on there. They didn't care. And we're busy, we don't have time to change the prices, but then they just dawdle in on the phone, and it's probably, I'd say that is the worst CEX in the Southwest. You've got Exmouth, you've got Exeter, Newton Abbot are really, really good. Barnstable, Newton Abbot, I have found a few Mouldy Games over there, but they do get a good selection of retro now and again. There is Torquay. Torquay's got a good CEX. Where else is the Southwest kind of way? Bristol's alright. Bristol's got a few different random stores. Bristol's got some good ones. Bath is very small. That's a very small one, but it has had a couple of good titles in now and again, but it's a very small store. You have to be very fast in there. So yeah, most of CEXs around are very good in the Southwest. I would just say, yeah, Taunton is the worst CEX in the Southwest by a far. I would never go back. Absolutely terrible customer service, terrible store, lazy. Just even if you're ordering from there, just don't bother. It's just not worth it. As I say, it's next door to Wetherspoons, and Primark is up the road as well. So it's just an absolute state over there. If you do go to Taunton and you want to brave it and you want to get yourself a pint in the Spoons, then you can go and check out there and go check out Antique Games. If they do have a bit of retro, there is a little arcade after everything. It was just a bit exhausting. We went and had a good fun at the Somerset Museum, which has got loads of stuff you can have a little pot around and do something for free. There is an arcade in there as well that looks very good. There's loads of arcade machines. I think it's got Continue. It's got called Continue, and you can play Endless Arcade in there. So yeah, there is some little bits of fun in there. It was just for a retro hunt, hit and miss. So let's get into the pickups. I've got a few pickups from there. As I said, we had a good day out anyway, but that was just not with the game shops. So I do have a few little pickups, and yeah, I did get a voucher after getting a refund from the worst CEX in the Southwest. And I went to a local CEX and got something absolutely fabulous. This has been on my radar for a little bit. You know, I do love the big box PlayStation 4. I've got quite a few already, and it's slowly becoming a really good collection for me because it's modern day reiterations of a lot of my retro classics that I absolutely adore, and having them on a modern TV screen is just proving fantastic rather than having to get out so many consoles. So yeah, let's get into this one. It's one you don't see too often, but it's a double pack of Far Cry 4 and Far Cry Primal. So I was much chuffed to finally use my voucher after that crap experience in the CEX, and got a nice good one. Nice big box. Great open worlds in the Far Cry games. I mean, Far Cry 4 is one of my great games that I love to play. A lot of people don't like it, but I love going around like the Himalayas and Tibet and that kind of atmosphere. Hitting the encampments, you've got nice guns, funny little interactions with the animals. It's just a great sandbox environment. Far Cry Primal, I don't have Far Cry Primal because it's not one of my favourite ones. It's kind of set back in, with the savages in 10,000 BC, so you don't really have guns and that too much, but you can go hunt down woolly mammoths and all that kind of stuff. I might get back into it at some point in the future, but Far Cry 3, 4, 5, 6, I quite like all of those. They're quite good, fun little games. A nice big double pack. You can find quite a few of these little big double packs. Some of them come with like movies like Mortal Kombat, or comes with like Batman, and there's quite a few sort of double packs around for the PlayStation 4. So if you are into a bit of PlayStation 4 cardboard, you can go down that rabbit hole and find a few more of those. Let's get into some more pickups. This is a great one. I found this on Vinted for an absolute cracking price. This is, I don't think a lot of people know about this. For the Nintendo DS, it's kind of like a scroller, kind of like Final Fight almost like a Streets of Rage. Nice little scrolling beat 'em up. It is, I hope I don't butcher the name here, Gekido Kintaro's Revenge. And it's a huge big box. I saw this and I thought, wow, very unusual. It's from Red Art Games. It is in French in the back, but I don't mind about that. It comes with an art book, some stickers, the game itself. If you're looking for that on the Nintendo DS is about £75-80, so it's very sort of renowned on there as being a really, really good game. So I'm going to get into that for that price. Very unusual size big box PS4. I picked up the big box PS4 King of Fighters limited pack, so I've got quite a few sort of PlayStation 4 random big box limited editions. This is no different. I'm going to look forward to playing some of that on the channel, and I'll show you, and I'll give you my thoughts in a future video. Looks very cool, like the character in that, so yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this one. So yeah, very, very decent. You don't see that very often, and that should be highly collectible in the future. The last kind of pickup, I've got a bit of a break coming up, so we're going away. This has been on my radar for quite a while, and as I say, I'm getting a bit fed up of going to CEX, trying to find these games. I want stuff in good condition, I want stuff to add, I want to finish up my collections, and I don't want to be bothered and pestered and wasting my time. I do feel a lot of going in. I think CEX in general is not great content anyway. I like to talk about the games, I'm passionate about the games, and I'm not really too fussed about the prices and going in there and having a moan about them and doing that thing, because I know what it is. People trading absolute crap from the car boots and from wherever to get a voucher to buy something else that's already else has been traded in, that's crap and whatever. I'm looking for specific things that I find fun and cool and interesting and different. I think going into the CEX and doing all of that and then taking everything back because you find it's garbage, or you're doing your roulette, and it is a big faff and a waste of time, and I don't have, time's precious these days. I'd rather be enjoying my days out and my family days out. This one is a big time saver. It kind of kills a lot of the collecting and all that kind of stuff, but to find a lot of these things is very, very expensive these days. It is the R3 6S. This is a console. They're hugely made in China, and they just take all the ROMs. You can download main anyway. That is very, very dirt cheap. They're not doing anything, you know, super proprietary or revolutionary here. They've just taken a load of ROMs that are online and put them onto a little handheld kind of modern day fake sort of Game Boy, isn't it? So there's lots of games on there. There's about 15,000 games on there. I did have an Evercade, which is in an old sort of pickup. I found like the cartridges to add some old retro classics in there. They had like the Sega games. I think it was Gremlin and a few others. The cards kind of never really sort of connected always and are a bit faffy. This emulates very, very brilliantly. So emulates it's got the full Super Nintendo library. It's got a full Mega Drive library. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, so they're all on there. The only thing it doesn't have is like PlayStation 2 games, but there's a few great little retro titles that'll save me so much time faffing around. And I've already put in a few hours playing and having a little explore of like Super Mario and Mario World and all that kind of stuff. Really, really cool. So yeah, they're just cheap and easy, and you know, if you can't be bothered with the faff of going around to these shops and doing all this thing, this is very, very easy. And as I'm talking about sort of collections and that kind of stuff, the prices, inflation, everything's going up. So this is like full circle of the video. People can get accessibility to games that are very, very sort of cheap and easy to do, save you the headaches, save you all of this. This was only £20. I believe you can find them brand new online from your Temus and wherever, and all these kind of places all sell these kind of things and save you a lot of time if you are just wanting to play little few easy retro games. Very, very cheap. This is a lot better than the Evercade, I must say. This is fantastic. I think I might get a couple of these, just hold on to them, play on, then I don't have to set up a Mega Drive or a Super Nintendo. I can just play some retro games and just get straight into it, straight in, turn it off, and do other things that I'm meaning to do, other jobs in life anyway. So yeah, a bit of a random one, bit of a random trip. I've got some nice big box rare PS4 items. It's a bit of a shame MT Games. I couldn't spend a bit more time in there. As I say, the prices were a bit bananas, but there was some good little retro bits in there, but nothing took my fancy. The CEX was the worst CEX I've ever seen in the Southwest. And yeah, some decent little things we've added. So it you know, it's hit and miss sometimes. Sometimes you go to these shops that are brilliant. Sometimes you go find some hidden gems. I think I'm gonna go to some more fantastic shops, maybe ones in Cardiff, back to Swindon was one of my favourite shops, so let's go into a bit more of these high-end shops and find some brilliant stuff, then go to some of these mediocre mid shops that can not always be great and always make great content. So some nice little pickups we found anyway. As I said, I like shopping online because you know what you're going to get, isn't it? So that's Video Games Pickups 31. I've got some more exciting videos coming on the channel, so stay subscribed to us, smash the like, comment, all helps us reach more people, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.